New Jersey to Las Vegas. New Jersey Raider Nation coming to you live.
The autumn wind is a pirate,
Getting a little controversy around the NFL.
blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song, he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash.
Welcome, NJRaiderNation, to the Week 1 All Raiders Fantasy Football results video. And boy, was it a good one. And as you know, this All Raiders team depends heavily on the Raiders, and we got a treat. The home opener in Vegas, it was an amazing game. A lot of people are saying the best Monday Night Football game ever. Went into overtime. If you're watching this, I'm assuming you watched the game. So I don't need to tell you too much about it, but I watched it from the M Resort over in Vegas, and this is the video of how that went. Yeah, so that was an amazing time over there. But now let's get into this video, and we're going to take a look at how the All Raiders fantasy football team did this past week, Week 1. And if you look right on the top of that screen, Las Vegas Raiders, the name of the team, there's a 1-0 next to it. That's right, starting the season off with a win just like the Raiders are. And I'll be honest, I myself was very surprised. I was surprised for this challenge to see if I'd even get one win, because it's not the best strategic decision. And like I said, this is a serious fantasy league, $25 buy-in, so everyone's trying to win here. So here we go. We beat the team by about 30-ish points, give or take. So I got 127.6 points, and then they finished with 91.42. So let's break it down here. Derek Carr with 24.9 points, Josh Jacobs 16, Drake 11.9, Ruggs 6.6, Brian Edwards 12.1, Darren Waller with 27.5 points, Hunter Renfrow with 13 points, and the Raiders defense with 4, and Daniel Carlson with 11. Total of 127.6 points. Now, if you look on the other side, Aaron Rodgers finished with 1.32 points. Huge upset for a lot of fantasy teams that have him as their starting QB. But, you could say, that helped me get the win. But even if Rodgers had a decent game, say 20 points, I still would have won. So the Raiders team really just balled out, and that's why I got this win. But it's exciting to see. Because, like I said, I was hoping for at least one win this entire season of doing this, and we're starting the season off with 1-0. I mean, I'm looking good in the standings of this league, which, everyone made fun of me for doing this, but, look, I'm sitting here 1-0. So now let's go down the list. Derek Carr. If you could give points for clutch and high-pressure situations, dude, this guy had some incredible throws towards the end of the game. First half, he really was targeting Waller way too much. I think he was forcing a lot of it. So I don't really know what that was all about. But second half, they changed the game plan a little bit. It seemed like they started getting Ruggs, Edwards, all of them active. But and then, they kicked that field goal with 37 seconds left, and Carr went down there 2 plays and got in field goal range to tie it up. So, people say Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, you can't give these guys too much time. You can't give Derek Carr too much time either. That was a perfectly executed drive where it looked beautiful, and he finished the job. He got the job done, and then you go into overtime, and he gets the job done there too. So he finished with 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, which wasn't his fault. That play, Willie Snead right through the hands. But 435 yards is the key here. He's leading the league right now. In all of Week 1, he had the most passing yards of all quarterbacks. So shout out Derek Carr. Great game for him. Going right down, Josh Jacobs. He he had an illness, didn't think he was going to play. He was questionable. He said in the press conference that he had to beg to even get in the game, and he got 2 touchdowns. He only got 34 yards, but like I said, the illness, he wasn't feeling that good. I think that's no problem. You know, if he's in full health, I think he would have had a lot more opportunity to get some bigger runs in there. But you know what? 2 touchdowns. We use him. He did good when we used him, and that's what he's there for. So 16.6 fantasy points for him. Drake didn't do too much on the running side of things, but he did get 5 receptions for 59 yards, and that's what he's excelled in his career, and that's how we're using him here, which I like that. Ruggs wasn't that active. I think we could have used Ruggs more, especially in the first half, but he finished with 2 receptions, 46 yards. He had that one big play, that one big catch that put us in great position in the fourth quarter. So that was a big play by him. Nice catch. Bryan Edwards. Funny thing about Bryan Edwards, he didn't catch a single catch until the last 37 seconds of the game, and he got 2 catches on that drive to put us into the position to kick the game-tying field goal, and then he goes into overtime and gets 2 more big catches. So he finished with 4 catches, 81 yards, average of 20.3 yards per catch. He had a great game when we used him, but like I said, him and Ruggs, I think we got to use them a little earlier. Put him more into the game plan. I really think we forced a little too much with Darren Waller. He had like 10 targets in the first half, and I don't know. But Darren Waller, speaking of him, he really came out in this, and he had a couple drop passes too. So he came out in the second half, fixed all his little issues, and ended up with 10 receptions for 105 yards and 1 touchdown. He's doing what Waller does best. I think without a doubt, best tight end in the league, but that's an argument out there. Hunter Renfrow, very clutch too. I mean, Renfrow had a great game. 6 receptions for 70 yards, 13 points. Raiders defense. Now, I think the defense looked really promising. I think they looked like an NFL team. There was consistent pressure. Max Crosby, 2 sacks. Do I need to say more? He balled out. Carl Nassib with the big forced fumble on Lamar Jackson. That was a very clutch play, and that gave us the ball back in overtime, and we ended up winning the next drive because of it. So big plays there. And then Quentin Jefferson with another sack. So I think our defense did all right. We got 4 fantasy points, probably because the points allowed subtracts it, and their yards that they got, total yards. But in fantasy, it's going to look like that because they don't account for everything. But when you look at pressures and everything, I think we had consistent pressure on Lamar Jackson between Crosby, Yannick Ngakoukie, Carl Nassib. Jackson was running the whole time, and he really couldn't get balls out in a set stance, and I think that was part of their downfall. So I think our defense had a good, promising game. I'm really excited to see the defense throughout the season. I was pleased with what I saw there. And then Daniel Carlson. Quick honorable mention to AJ Cole, our punter, because he had a couple, I don't know off the top of my head how many punts he had, but all of them were bombs. I mean, he was just kicking the hell out of the ball, getting really like flipping the sides. I mean, properly switching possession, having them start back at their end, and I think he deserves credit. Fantasy doesn't do that, but now with Daniel Carlson, if you had any questions about him before, no more. Because ever since they got rid of Janikowski, even I was like, I don't want a new kicker. No one's going to be as good as Seabass. But last year, this is his 4th year with us. Last year, he broke the Sebastian's all-time scoring record in one season. And this year, he starts off with the most clutch situation possible. You can't get any more high pressure than that. It's the home opener. The only thing standing between the Ravens winning and the Raiders fighting for overtime is this dude, Daniel Carlson, and he hits it right through the upright for his all-time career-long of 55 yards. I mean, that is the most tense situation ever, but he did it. He nailed it, and I think he's the real deal now. I think he's earned his place. I'm very happy with him as our kicker, and I think he's going to stay for years to come. So him and his buddy AJ Cole, good duo. They had a great game Monday night, and I feel pretty good about our special teams now. Now looking at the backups, we got Mariota, who came in third play, I believe. I lost my voice. I was so surprised and shocked that he got the ball and he ran so well. I yelled, and then I heard a pop, and I felt a pop, and my voice was gone the rest of the game, but whatever. 31 yards on that one carry. It was awesome. It was exciting. It was great play design. I kind of like the switching with Carr and Mariota, but he did get hurt after that. He was done for the game, and it might be a long-term injury, which really is a blow because Gruden said that he planned on using him in that game specifically a lot more, and obviously for the future to come too. And now he might be out for a couple months, couple weeks, couple months. So hope for the best with him. Willie Snead, I think they don't even show the season stats, but he had that one target in the end zone, and it went right through his hands. I mean, he could have had the win, could have sealed the Raiders the win, and it went right through his hands. People are saying, oh, Carr threw it too quick. What? Are you guys serious? But whatever. Zay Jones, and then now we got the guy that actually did come up, and he caught the ball with a big deep bomb to win us the game. So he had 2 targets, and that one target was the touchdown that won us the game in overtime. I mean, man, and everyone's so happy for Zay Jones. He's like the hardest worker on the Raiders, or what? That's what everyone says. But good for him. Foster Moreau, I don't think he did anything in that game. But then we got Alec Ingold, who, he played at 6.2 fantasy points. That's pretty good for a fullback. 4 receptions for 22 yards. I mean, I love the guy's energy. He is such a good fullback. I think he's the ideal fullback. John Gruden loves him. He's one of my favorite players on the Raiders right now. And Jalen Richard, Nathan Peterman, they didn't play. But overall, great weekend for the Raiders. Pretty exciting. I got my win. And now we're going to look real quick at next week's matchup. I'm not switching anyone in or out. Josh Jacobs is questionable. I don't really have anyone that would go in there for him. So I'm probably going to just keep him. And so next week's matchup. So projection 96.3 to 127.6. I'm projected to lose, just like I was this weekend. And we'll see. I got about 100. What did I get last week? Got 127.6, and my opponent's projected that same exact score. So if the Raiders play just like they did this week, we go into overtime, get a little more action going. Maybe I'll win this week too. We need Josh Allen to fall on the way to the stadium. So we'll see. We'll take a quick look at the standings. I'm in 4th place. Probably won't be there forever. So soak it in, enjoy the 1-0, and that's week 1. That's a wrap, and great week for the Raiders. So now we got week 2. We got the Steelers coming up. Should be good. Should be fun. And hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next week for the week 2 results for the All Raiders fantasy football team. NJ Raider Nation out.